So I have really been interested in sleep, if you can't tell. When I sort of go down this rabbit hole of learning about things that have to do with our wellness, our well-being, um, I like to share what I'm learning because I feel like there is so much happening in our lives, happening in our bodies that we don't always pay attention to, right? And that is part of mindfulness, is paying attention to this. And so a lot of times when we are feeling stressed out, when we're feeling run down, like we don't always think about, how am I sleeping? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting quality sleep? Like we just sort of take that for granted. And so I just love learning like how we can make small changes, small shifts to help us feel better. That's what I'm all about. So I titled this video, Lack of Sleep is Costing Us Big. And here, excuse me, here is why. So lack of sleep costs the United States over $411 billion and 1.23 million working days per year. That's a lot. And what exactly does that mean? Like, how can this be? So lack of sleep impacts millions of workers across the United States. And it was hard for me to tell exactly what this study like if that included people who worked from home, people who worked for themselves, like where exactly this fit, but we're all workers in some way, right? Like we all have jobs for the most part. We all have some sort of career or path that we're on that would be considered working. So lack of sleep costs us in both finances and time. And how does that work? So when we are not sleeping well, we have lower productivity, and we actually have a higher risk of accidents and illness and death. Okay, like those three things should be a reason that everyone is looking at their sleep and figuring out how they can get good quality, adequate sleep for them. So compared to other developed countries, the US is suffering the most due to sleep deprivation. So sleep impacts everything we do. We've kind of talked about that. A drained, tired body leads to a drained, tired mind. So if our body can't be repairing and resting while we're sleeping, that's going to impact our mental capacity. So we have more room for error. We are at higher risk for health issues. We, again, are less productive. We can't make good decisions or make decisions quickly. All of these things are connected to using our time wisely and not making costly mistakes. So the ironic thing here, and maybe not ironic, maybe the sad thing here, is that often because of our work, we're not sleeping. We're losing sleep because of our work. Either we are working multiple jobs, we are staying up late or getting up early to work on our own businesses. We possibly have really high stress work environments, so we're unable to fall or stay asleep. So many reasons that our work is impacting our sleep. So what can you do if you are one of these people who's lacking quality sleep? A couple of things. Turn off electronics before bed. So many of us stay up late scrolling or binge watching the latest shows. You've heard me talk about this before, but the artificial light in our world affects our circadian rhythm, aka sleep-wake. So all of the artificial light we have is impacting how our brain goes to bed. So this technology keeps us awake, keeps our brain awake far longer than we can imagine. So turning down the lights, avoiding electronics, gives the brain that signal that it's time to rest. Getting physical activity during the day is helpful. It could be a few short walks. It could be a fitness class. It could be taking breaks to stretch, anything in between there. It does not have to be difficult. Just move around. Stretching, yoga, like you name it, just moving around. We are a very sedentary society, and it's important to move our bodies throughout the day to avoid being stagnant, let's say that. So you want to avoid this being too close to bedtime, or that can keep you awake, but try to be aware and move around as often as you can throughout the day. Having a nighttime ritual or routine to help the body wind down. So I, of course, always suggest meditation, journaling, deep breathing, giving the body the time to find peace and calm. So we live in a world where we're very from this to this to this to this, and there's no transition period. There's no space to prepare ourselves for what's coming next. So we go from watching TV, bed, and then we lay there and can't figure out why we're still awake. If we turn off the TV, we use some space in between to wind down, to prepare for sleep, tell the brain it's bedtime. That's where we can start to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. These techniques, so meditation specifically, deep breathing specifically, will help the body lower the stress response. So we're telling the body and the mind we're safe. We're telling them that we are okay. And so when it comes to closing our eyes, we've indicated that we are not under stress, we're not threatened, we're not in danger, and so it can relax. So scientifically, physiologically, that is proven. Those things are proven to help us calm and feel more peaceful. So lowering that stress response before bedtime can be really helpful, again, to fall asleep instead of laying there with racing thoughts and feeling like you are so stressed out. So if you take anything away from this, hear this. Sleep is important. Why is a meditation teacher talking about sleep? Because we as a society need to be more aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it, how it is impacting us. Not sleeping, as the statistics show, impact us in very negative ways. So if you want to show up to be the best person you can be, to go out into the world and do great and amazing things, sleep is important. You deserve it. Your body deserves it. Your mind deserves it. You need that time to rest and to repair and to recover. We are not meant to take on the weight of the world 24 hours a day, 20 hours a day, whatever it looks like for you. So figuring out your good sleep routines and being aware of what you're feeling, how you're feeling, making changes and adjustments as you go. These are the things that I do. These are the things that my clients do. We test things, we try things, and we figure out what works for them, because no two people are the same, and we all have different experiences in our lives. And so we need to do some trial and error until we feel good about what's happening. So hear this. That's long story short. Sleep is important. This meditation teacher is talking to you about it because it takes awareness. It takes not ignoring what's going on and pushing through and really evaluating where you're at and what you're doing. And I am here to help. So if you are hearing this and you are like, yep, I've been ignoring that, and now it's really impacting areas of my life, let's chat, reach out. I am glad to work with you through some of these things, because we are meant to enjoy life. We are meant to wake up each day with joy, to go to bed with full, happy hearts, and to really just do great things in the world. So I'm here to help. I hope that you find this helpful. Comment below, what do you do to get good sleep? I would love to know, like, what things are helping you sleep good. And if you're struggling with sleep, again, let's chat. I would love to talk through that with you. Thanks for tuning in.